What's happening, folks? Welcome back to the channel, Sports, Life, and Politics TV. I'm Samuel Koppel, YouTube's #1 couch detective, and I'm here for the news. And here yesterday it was reported that Shannon Sharp and Skip Bayless of the sports debate show Undisputed are going their separate ways. Now we know that Shannon Sharp and Skip Bayless have had their differences on camera and behind the scenes. That's plainly obvious. Now, Skip Bayless on camera has got extremely disrespectful towards Shannon Sharp. And I think a part of that is a little bit of jealousy. I think Shannon Sharp started to outshine Skip a little bit. But Shannon Sharp didn't realize that he's still a Negro. And he basically got his Negro wake-up call. Skip Bayless over the last few months, after they had the DeMar Hamlin debate, that debacle, Skip Bayless started to shut down on camera. You could just tell. He started to pull back. He wasn't arguing as hard with Shannon. I think at that particular moment, they knew they were close to the end. Now, the DeMar Hamlin debate was only one of many things that made them go their separate ways. There was the thing about Tom Brady, and he said Shannon was jealous of Tom Brady, and he had a way better career than Shannon, and, he really slapped Shannon square in the face verbally. And then it was the DeMar Hamlin, which I think most people say was the final nail in the coffin. Now, Skip Bayless said some things about DeMar Hamlin live while the game was happening, and I had no problem with what Skip Bayless said. The reason why I said that, because football is an extremely violent and dangerous sport. People get hurt all the time. I watch football damn near my whole life. And there have been people who have been paralyzed from the neck down. There have been people who have been paralyzed from the waist down. There have been people who've had severe injuries, legs snapped clean in half. People never walk the same again, tore both knees up simultaneously. All type of injuries happen. And when that injury happened with DeMar Hamlin, the first thing I thought, because I wasn't on social media, I was just watching the game live like everybody else. And the first thing I thought to myself, I wonder what's going to happen with the playoffs. They're not going to finish this game. That's going to affect the playoffs, ain't it? At the time, you don't know what the severity of the injuries is, but obviously he was able to make a full recovery and he's okay now. But it was a rarity for them to completely stop a game. That was unprecedented. I had never seen that. Now I've seen games called off via lightning, thunder and lightning, something like that. But maybe the lights go out, something like that. But an injury, never. So what Skip Bayless said was really not that out of line. But because of the media and because of the social media pull and power, that thing flew all the way over the top. Now, them going their separate ways, all good things come to an end. It's not that big of a deal. But now we get to see who's going to do better going forward. I think that Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp are happy to go their separate ways at this point. Sometimes when you're in these type of relationships, you just get sick of each other. And it's not that big of a deal. But let's take a look at the clip and see if we can't get some discernment out of what's going on here.
Ryan, straight up, what happened here? What led to this breakup?
So I think, the whole purpose of the show is contentious debate. And the show works at its best when the two have genuine friction. And so I think for a number of years, they were able to, coexist really successfully for a while with Shannon basically being,
Let me say this. When these two guys first came together, I was happy about it. I thought they made great debate partners. I thought the show did a great job. Now, over the past year or two, it's probably started to go down a little bit. But overall, I thought they had a great show. And the overall arch of their success, I think the whole thing was successful in totality. Yeah, I think the show was a success. But like I said, all good things come to an end.
The new partner, whereas Skip had been with Stephen A. Smith for a number of years at ESPN. The friction really boiled over during this past football season when they had a contentious debate about DeMar Hamlin. I guess I wouldn't even call it a debate, a contentious segment. And at that time, I think it just became clear that Shannon had enough on the show. Basically, quickly. The way it works behind the scenes is I think Shannon probably felt that he deserved equal consideration as Skip when it comes to the planning of the show and the debate topics. Now, I think that on the show they did seem to me to be booked as equals, but you can definitely tell that there's just so many topics that are ones that are Skip that is more into than Shannon, and I think that ate at Shannon over the years. Now, I don't know that, it's not like I spoke to Shannon about that, but that's kind of been my impression in my reporting. And so I think it just came to a head with that Hamlin situation, and from that point, it became a matter of when and not if Shannon was going to move on from the show.
And Shannon does have a very successful podcast in Club Shay Shay. Extremely successful. He has his own liquor. And, a lot of people say that liquor is top-notch butterscotch. I haven't tried it yet, but, one day I'll give it a try. But Shannon Sharpe is having a lot of success already away from Skip. And I'm pretty sure he's going to try to sell that to another company. It's the Club Shay Shay podcast. He's probably going to try to pitch that to some other companies. And somebody's going to buy that because it's already extremely successful. He has some great guests and has some great conversations on there.
And the other part of this that you reported is that Shannon is expected to be out after the NBA Finals this year in June. So my follow-up question to all this is, what happens with this show Undisputed and Skip Bayless?
So the short answer is I don't know, but the long answer is my guess. Just from observing these things for a while, I feel like look. There's no clear replacement in mind that you can name. There's nobody who's ever filled in for Shannon on the show and debated Skip on FS1. Shannon.
Yes, that's true. That's going to be interesting to see who Skip Bayless gets to fill in for Shannon Sharpe. That's a big seat to fill. And, like I said, a lot of times when you see these things on the surface, you might take a particular person's side. But sometimes behind the scenes, you might not, it might totally change your perspective on what's going on. I don't know all the behind the scenes, but I can guarantee behind the scenes, it seems as if Skip Bayless doesn't respect Shannon Sharpe as much as you might think that he should. Now, there are some rumors that even I'm a little suspect about Shannon Sharpe, that maybe, allegedly, and I hate to put this on brothers, but allegedly, that he might be part of that alphabet community. We don't know. I don't like to put that on brothers, but we know sometimes those things are true. And let me show you why and where some of those rumors come from. Because he has a stylist. Let me go out right quick. He does have a stylist. Shout out to Around Association. I'm using like a 15-second clip, fair use. I'm just about 15 seconds. But he has a stylist. And let's take a look at his stylist. As you can see, this is his stylist. That stylist is always with him now. Is there anything wrong with having a gay stylist? I'm not saying it is or it ain't. But most men, it takes a lot to be comfortable with that. Now, most people say, maybe your doctor's gay. He can touch you and other, but that's a little bit different. We talking about life-saving stuff, but a stylist, think about it. Style. So he's getting his style from the alphabet community, which most modern style does come from the alphabet community. There's no doubt about that. As you can see. He had his little purse. Let me see that. Let me see that stylist one more time. Because that stylist is most definitely in the shot. He's falling right behind Shannon. He's fixing Shannon's collar. And as you can see, that stylist is right there in the mix. That stylist is following Shannon everywhere he goes, which is creating these rumors because Shannon Sharpe is, I think, damn near 60 years old. He's not married. He doesn't have no woman. So that's going to always cause a little bit of a stir in the rumorville, that maybe so. Is he? I have no idea. If you ask me my personal opinion, highly feasible. But yeah, Shannon Sharpe, Skip Bayless going their separate ways. Probably a good thing at this point for Shannon Sharpe. to go do his own thing. I try to call these things as fair as balanced as possible, you guys. I don't take sides. I'm not a fan of no man. This fan is just short for fanatical. I'm not fanatical about no man. You're going to be fanatical about anybody. Be fanatical about God. Be fanatical about your family. That's it. But I just want to go over that clip. Skip Bayless, Shannon Sharp, the breakup, the mess. This has been Sports Life Politics TV. I'm Samuel Koppel, YouTube's #1 couch detective. I'm here for the news. Hit that like. Hit that subscribe. I just took your ass on. It's the end of Undisputed Ride. Peace.